Hey everybody, this is Nick from Android Headlines. Today I'm going to be bringing you an unboxing of the OnePlus DR-1 Drone. Now the OnePlus DR-1 Drone was an April Fool's gag by OnePlus, where about a week ahead of time they teased a little new product that they were going to be doing. They called it a game changer. They did all kinds of crazy stuff. I guess your usual OnePlus marketing stuff. And then when they unveiled it on April Fool's, we realized, hey, this is just a little toy. This isn't actually a big drone like it seemed like it would be. Regardless, though, we were able to get our hands on a limited edition one, and unfortunately it seems like they don't actively sell these, although you should be able to get it on eBay. Now, it was a little hard to pull out of the packaging there for a second, and it seems like they've taped this to heck and back, so they definitely don't want you taking this out of here by accident or it falling at all. It feels like the thing's a little bit flimsy as it is, so maybe that's why they packed it in here so well so that it doesn't get crushed. So inside the box here, it looks like we got a bag full of little accessories and a manual. And of course, we'll just try ahead and go and pry this off here. They tape this thing like my grandmother tapes Christmas packages. And it also looks like this has little twisty ties like your dollar store toy or something like that would. Again, so that this thing doesn't fall out and wobble all around the package and break. Definitely needed for something like this, and I guess any other kind of toy in general. We'll go ahead and take a look at what's inside the package here. So obviously there's a manual here. In addition to it, looks like a USB cable, a little screwdriver, maybe some replacement propellers in case you get this caught on something and it breaks a propeller. Here you can see all the little extras in the package. So just little removal tools, all that kind of good stuff. Probably essentials if you're going to use this more than a few times. In the manual, it's got your requisite stuff. It's going to tell you exactly how to use the remote, which is packed down here. It's going to tell you what the buttons are. I guess it's just the one button on the front of the drone itself. And of course the different buttons on the remote. So this thing looks sort of like an Xbox 360 controller or something to that extent. It's got a couple of controls in here as well as a parts list for the DR-1 drone itself. So we'll go ahead and put that away because you don't necessarily need to read that right now. The controller is impossible to get out here, so I'm not going to try to cut this one open at the moment. And of course the drone itself is in a nice shiny little container. We'll go ahead and pull this one out here. It's fastened pretty well. Just give me 1 second here while I unfasten this, and then we'll take a closer look at it. Alright, so this thing is pretty light. It weighs almost nothing. It's pretty impressive how light it is, actually. I'm surprised there's a battery in here at all. So looking at the drone itself, it looks like you got a number of little bumpers on here. You got the propellers. Looks like the bumpers are probably here just to keep it from bumping into too much stuff and breaking, which is a nice little addition. So let's take this controller out for a test and let's take a look at it a little bit closer. Alright, now that we've taken this out of the package, we'll take a look at this closer. As you can see, it sort of looks like your average video game controller, maybe closer to an Xbox 360 controller or something like that. Of course, without all the buttons. You have the dual joysticks here. Each of them click. And then you have the buttons, the arrow up and down, as well as left and right adjust the gyro in case you need to recalibrate it. On and off switch. Then we'll go ahead and take a look at the drone as well. This is a nice little closer look for you. On the front there, you have a little charging port. Looking all around here at the different bumpers, they put a number of these in here. They all pop out, so if they break, you can probably replace most of them. There's a few little extras in the package. So we'll go ahead and turn it on. Yep, it lights up. Looks like red on one side and blue on the other. Probably is to denote front and back. Go ahead and give it a little test run here. So my brother's controlling this one, and it's kind of hard to follow at first, to be honest with you. Little crazy. We'll have to maybe give it a better test run here. Okay, so now that the maiden voyage is over, we'll go ahead and give it another shot in a little more open area. Okay, so this thing flies pretty high. It's not too hard to control. It takes a little learning, but it's not too bad at all. Okay, well, I think we've had enough of the outdoor flying. It's a little windy out here, and it's messing up the rotors a little bit. This thing is super light, so it's really prone to wind. We'll go ahead and get a little slow-mo video on here for you. Apologize for the quality. It was taken with the OnePlus 1, which at 720p and 120 FPS doesn't look quite as good as the rest of the video. As you can see from the slow-mo, it's not too bad at handling, especially inside or somewhere where the wind is not going to affect it. Since it's so light, it definitely gets adversely affected by the wind quite a bit. So I was able to get it to hover, and what's really cool is if you click in the right stick, right after you click it, you can do a little trick. So I had a really hard time getting this one on camera. I had a friend of mine at work film this for me. But just a second here, I'll be able to get it flipped over, and I wasn't able to recover it this time, but there were a few times that I tried it that I was able to actually flip it and keep it flying, which is pretty awesome. There's a lot of cool little things you could do with this. And if you can find one on eBay, they seem to be going for about 50 or 60 bucks, which you may or may not want to spend on this, especially given 50 or 60 bucks on Amazon will probably net you a better drone that's larger, has a camera on it, probably better battery life, because as it stands, this thing only flies for about 8 minutes. You can be pretty precise with it. I tried to land it on the hand here and failed, but you can always go ahead and reach out for it if you really just want to grab it. It is definitely easy enough to control. So, hope you enjoyed the video. Until next time, see everybody later.
Yay!